displayed our power.
That's how you kill a ghost faggot. What's up, guys? My name's Anthony, and this is a little domination game on Grid. But really what I wanted to talk about, seeing as we're like a million years into Call of Duty, nobody really gives a shit about what map I'm on. Nobody really cares about what gun I'm using. And nobody really cares about what setup I'm using. They just want to hear a damn story, and I'm going to give you guys a story. The story that I wanted to talk about was about my favorite summer as a kid. And I put a lot of thought into this. I really thought deep on this. And I would have to say it was when I was 10 years old. This summer was like the Call of Duty 4 of all summers. It was the most fun I've ever had, honestly. But anyway, my favorite summer was when I was 10 years old, honestly, I would have to say. When I was 10, everything just seemed like it was so simple. My day consisted of waiting to go to Little League practice, or going to a pool party or a barbecue of some sort. I had a group of friends that I used to play with on my block, and we used to sit in my grandma and grandpa's garage, and we used to play video games all day long. We used to play Grand Theft Auto, we used to play True Crime Streets of LA, we used to play Ratchet and Clank, NBA Live. We used to just go at it, and it was just so much fun. We have these long awaited periods of just sitting there and waiting for the ice cream man to come by, because we used to want to buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Beyblades. That's all we wanted to buy. And it was so much fun that summer. When I think of that summer, it puts good memories in my head. And there was a couple times when some pretty cool stuff happened to me, honestly. I was pretty happy about. One night we actually all decided to stand on the corner of our whole cul-de-sac, because we were on a cul-de-sac. And one night we decided to stand on the corner, and we were just standing there. We weren't really doing anything. We were just talking on the corner, and these cars kept coming by and stopping next to us and asking us like if we wanted ice cream or if we wanted to come with them. And they were like older women, so obviously they were acting stupid with us. They weren't really serious about what they were saying. But me, I would go along with it. And when I was little, I was just like this short, fat, chubby kid, and so I would just go with it, and I would just be like, yeah, I want some ice cream. You know, look at me, I'm a freaking fat kid. Of course I want some damn ice cream. But you know, I would tell them, yeah, I want some ice cream, and I would just go with it. I would seriously just go along with them. And when they saw that I would go along with them, they would back up, and they would like they would act completely different. And I learned a very valuable lesson that day. I learned a lesson that if you go with someone when they're trying to mess with you, that they don't want to mess with you anymore. I use this a lot. I use this almost every day when I'm online on Call of Duty. You get online, and what does somebody automatically say if you beat them or if you do something they don't like? They call you a faggot, or they call you gay. So what me and my friend Rio like to do is we actually like to play it up and actually go along with the joke. And my friend Rio usually starts it off with the line like, hell yeah, I'm gay. Hey, human, you want to make out? And I'll be like, hell yeah, I want to make out. And then all of a sudden the joke's not funny anymore. See, that's the thing a lot of people don't think about with these young bucks nowadays. A lot of them are on the games, and I'm not trying to say that I'm old or anything like that, but generally the age on a Call of Duty game is about 15, you know, 14 or so. A lot of you guys are younger out there, and the thing that I know is that reverse psychology works wonders on some of you guys, because you just fall for it. It's amazing how you guys fall for it sometimes. And that's not to say that all of you guys are going to fall for it, because not all of you guys are immature. So don't get me wrong in what I was saying or anything. I didn't mean to say that every single one of you guys are immature and every single one of you guys, you know, likes to try out their new cuss words and everything in the lobby. What I am saying is generally that's the rule of thumb on Call of Duty, and on a lot of video games for that, you know, for that matter. And looking back, it's kind of like you learned a really important lesson, because you can apply that to almost anything, even if you're like in the schoolyard and stuff. I used to get made fun of a lot when I was a kid, and so when I used to get made fun of, I didn't always know that trick to just go along with what people were saying, so I used to get heated. I used to get really mad, and it used to bother me when people would make fun of me, call me a fat kid, you know. I had a bunch of nicknames, and that's actually a video that I want to go over eventually, is the shit you deal with when you grow up as a fat kid, because trust me, there's a lot of it, and I have plenty of stories and plenty of nicknames. And if anybody's out there watching this and you're a little overweight and you're a younger kid, don't worry about it. I'm not fat anymore because I did something about it. I changed it and I lost my weight and I'm in great shape now. But that's beside the point. The important thing is that if somebody is making fun of you, just realize that it doesn't matter, because what are they? They're just some pissant trying to make fun of you because something's wrong with you. And in reality, if they're making fun of you, that just means that they're just as self-conscious as anybody else in the world. Another thing that I remember about that summer was I was actually a troublemaker. I actually, I'm not a troublemaker anymore, and I don't even think that I have like a semi-evil bone in my body. But for some reason that summer I just didn't give a damn about what certain people said. And there was this lady on my block, and she was kind of like the overwatcher or the overseer of the whole neighborhood. She knew all the kids, she knew all the parents. She lived at the end of the street. She lived in this big house with like a million freaking dogs, and they would run wild all over the neighborhood, and you always knew if there was a random ass dog running around the place, it was most likely that old lady's. Her name was actually, if I can remember, her name was Kay. She had like one of those glory fros. She had an afro, and she was a white lady, but she was just this bitter white lady who did not like me. I don't know why. Maybe it was because I was the only fat kid in the neighborhood, but she didn't like me. And eventually I got fed up because she always kept trying to blame stuff on me. She always thought that I was doing things, or I was misleading people, or I was a bad influence on so-and-so. And she would always try to get me in trouble. And one day I got fed up with it, and I said, you know what, if you want something to cry about, I'm going to give you something to cry about. And so, like I said, I'm not a badass kid, so the best I could come up with at that age was to mess with her dogs and to hide stuff from her. So I started hiding random things from her, random gardening tools, any like little plaything for the dogs that I would find, I'd hide them. I would wet her dogs whenever they'd come near me. Just do anything really generally just to try to piss her off. And it started working after a while. I started noticing. And granted, yeah, those things aren't really that badass, but you know, hey, I'm 10 years old. Give me a freaking break, alright? I was a good kid when I grew up. But this lady was just ridiculous. Like, she had the whole neighborhood under her wing. So eventually, as the summer went on, unfortunately, I got this reputation as kind of like a bad seed. And I remember this one time these new neighbors moved in, and they went and they talked to her. And as soon as I saw them talking to her, I knew right off the bat, these people aren't going to like me very much. But that didn't stop me from going over to their house and saying hi to their son and being nice to him, and eventually actually became friends with the kid. And the whole thing of her trying to brainwash the people into thinking I was some evil little gremlin demon child didn't really work too well, so I was kind of happy about that. And I always liked to laugh at her every time I saw her when I was playing with the kid that had just moved in. And whenever she would tell me something, I wouldn't listen to her. And that's just, I don't know, that was one of my favorite things about that summer, because she kept pushing the buttons and saying I was a bad kid, and I wasn't. So it was kind of like this keep and score type thing to see what I could get away with. And by the way, I had more points than her by the end of the summer. Just to throw that out there, yes, I did win. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to thank you guys for taking the time to watch my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could come over and sub up to my channel, because I'm going to have plenty of games just like this. And this isn't the only type of game that I play. I play Fallout, Battlefield, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, and pretty much any game that really gets my interest. So I'm not just Call of Duty based. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. I think the score is pretty good, seeing as my playstyle is I run and I run and I run a little more. That's how I like to play video games. So take it easy. I hope you guys sub up and have a nice day.